Story. The price of rent in the U.S. has been fluctuating, but it's still high, which can create tension between those who can't afford it and their landlords. Right now, different financial websites like NerdWallet and Zillow give different numbers for the average price of rent around the country. One thing that is certain, the increase of prices has slowed down. The average rent in both Carolinas falls between $1,500 and $1,900 a month, depending on where you live. But if your bill isn't paid after a certain number of days, your landlord can file an eviction notice. Now, this doesn't automatically mean you have to leave. It means they're beginning the legal process of eviction, which includes multiple court dates and possible appeals. However, if an eviction goes through and the tenant has to leave, the situation can be dangerous. Take a look here. July of 2023, a deputy in Oregon was shot after he and other members of law enforcement were serving an eviction notice. That's when they say the man living inside the home opened fire, striking one of the deputies. Fast forward to August of that year, where a man opened fire on deputies who tried to serve him with an eviction notice. This happened in Pittsburgh and led to a more than 7-hour standoff where the man was ultimately shot and killed by officers.
And did give him every opportunity to surrender. That's why an incident like this took the amount of time that it took. It was about a little over 4.5 hours, and in that we've provided ample opportunity for peaceful surrender.
And in North Carolina, deputies say they tried to get a barricaded man out of his house in Raleigh while trying to serve a warrant. Once they made contact, they say the man lunged at police with a knife, causing officers to open fire. And the violence isn't just against law enforcement. Tonight, our national investigative team looks at how evictions quickly go south and what officials say can fix the rare but growing issue.
Dispatch requesting assistance.
It's February 29th, 2024.
Suspect is still in the residence.
The emergency
They have an officer down.
is dire.
We now have 2 officers down.
Police flood the front yard of a home just outside Kansas City, Missouri.
2 officers shot.
I need at least 4 ambulances.
The call brings emergency crews from across the region to help.
Be ready to take your patients. Be advised this is still an active scene. PD still taking fires.
But help is too late.
Giving you another live look. This is the beginning of this procession.
2 people died that day. Independence, Missouri officer Cody Allen.
I was like, why? Why?
And Carmen Mack's big brother, Drexel Mack.
This is not fair. This is not fair. My brother should still be here. He should have not got killed doing his job.
Drexel wasn't law enforcement. The job that got him killed was serving an eviction notice. The man being evicted, Larry Acree, is now charged in the double murder. Mack was a civil process server for years, tasked with serving papers like eviction notices for people who fell too far behind on payments. Work that isn't considered inherently dangerous. But Carmen says she constantly worried for his safety.
People are very crazy, and people, you come to take their stuff from them is how they feel. So they try to protect their belongings.
At that moment of eviction, everyone is tense. It can escalate very quickly.
And eviction expert Carl Gershenson says examples of violent evictions are popping up across the country.
Here's a notice to evict, okay?
What?
It's your notice for, put the knife down right now.
We found, quite a large number of these stories being reported each year.
Gershenson is the director of Princeton University's Eviction Lab, a group that formed because he says no one was tracking the rate of evictions in the U.S. The number it determined is about 3.6 million a year.
What about violence with evictions? Is that being tracked?
No one is tracking the co-occurrence of violence in evictions.
Eviction Lab is trying to do that, but without a nationwide reporting system, it relies on news reports.
Deputies were serving a civil eviction
and says the numbers may actually be higher. In 2022, it documented at least 38 deaths. By 2023, the number was 44. And that's not including other types of violence that people survived.
It's just too much.
Carmen says she can't make sense of any violence. But she hopes change comes with evictions and safety becomes a priority, even if it's too late for her brother.